for Canada USA or USA Canada. Are you ready? Are you excited?
Yeah, no, for sure. I think every game's important, but I think that was definitely the one that we all had circled on our calendars. And they got such a great team. Even watching their game against Sweden the other night, it was so fast paced, and they got so much talent. So, as do we. So it's gonna be it should be a great game, and I know our guys are super fired up about the opportunity.
How did you feel about your game last night?
Yeah, it felt solid. Just trying to do what I can for my role. And whenever I'm out there, just trying to play hard, keep it simple, and we got so many good forwards. So I think for me, it's just about trying to move the puck up to them and get the puck into their hands. And if there's an opportunity to maybe get up in the rush every now and then, try to do that. But I think it's more about just, like I said, transition and just being hard in the D zone.
We all saw a video last night of Austin Matthews giving Brady Tkachuk the Gaudreau jersey. Pretty emotional moment for your group.
Yeah, absolutely. I even seeing his old man here before the tournament started, I think that really, their whole family is so important to so many guys in this team. And, I know Brady was super honored just to get that and be able to wear Johnny's jersey and kind of honor him in that way.
Other countries are, maybe a little more spread out because of the development program and because of Boston and Minnesota, Massachusetts and Minnesota. It seems like you're really close. Like you've known a lot of these guys for a long time.
Yeah, I think that was probably what they saw, with creating the development program. I think just making sure so many of these players have experience playing together and developing together, forming those relationships, because when it comes to tournaments like this or Olympics or the big stage, a lot of these guys have a history of playing together, and I think that definitely gives the Americans an advantage a little bit, just having that bond and that history of playing together. I think even a lot of the European teams, Sweden, Finland, a lot of those guys kind of grew up playing those similar systems, and so I think anytime you get to play, when you're younger together, I think it gives you definitely an advantage.
There was a shift last night. You're on the ice. You're from Boston. The Chucks who have that Boston connection. Jack was out there. The only guy, like McAvoy, was out there, and he's from New York. That was he was the loner. What is that Massachusetts sort of fraternity like to be part of?
Yeah, it's great. It's having I've known the Tkachuks for so long, and I played with Matthew when we were probably 10, 11 years old in summer tournaments, and Keith was our coach. So I've had a long relationship with those guys, and just to see them playing together, as brothers for the first time on a stage like this was really cool to watch last night and be a part of. And anytime all the Boston boys are together, it's it's a lot of fun, and it's a lot of fun for our families as well. They Boston people stick together, and I think they're having a lot of fun away from the games.
There's a bunch of video out there right now, and I just watched one of Keith Tkachuk and Adam Foote basically assaulting one another in '96. Have you seen any of that stuff?
Yeah, I know for sure. I mean, those are some pretty intense games, and it's been a long time since we really had a situation like that where best on best and USA Canada, but that rivalry runs deep. And I think watching highlights from those games, it was like a war, and there were so many good players in the ice, but I think you really see the passion come out in games like that.
This is probably the best collection of talent you will ever face as a defenseman. How do you approach facing the Canadian offense? How do you approach facing the power play?
I just think you can't really overthink. I think you just got to trust yourself, trust your instincts, and you don't want to get caught doing too much necessarily, because when you do that, I mean, any little mistake turns into a grade A chance so fast against teams with that much talent. So the margin for error is so close, and I think it's just about moving the puck, being hard, being simple, and letting our forwards get up and make their plays as well, because we have a lot of dangerous offense as well, and I think it should be an exciting game.
Is it almost more as much mental as it is sort of the X's and O's and being able to be?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, when you're playing against this level of competition, you have to be as sharp as you can be mentally, and you take one split second off, or you're not focused or dialed in for one split second, all of a sudden it's a chance again. So you got to be on your toes, you got to be sharp, but you also can't overthink. You just got to trust yourself, trust your instincts, and trust your teammates, and it should be a lot of fun.
Has it been different than you imagined it would be watching Brady and Matthew together? not talking necessarily last night, although to watch them both on that same line, they joked about it afterwards, like they're battling each other to get to net front. So. But has it been different than you thought it would be watching them have this experience?
Yeah, I think both guys are such heart and soul players, and they play the game so hard. With the amount of talent both of them have, they're such competitors, and I think for me, knowing them as long as I have, I expected that to be revealed in a tournament like this on a big stage. I know they were so excited just to play together too. Even seeing them before the tournament in the lead up, like hanging out with them, like they're so fired up to get on the ice together and play together, and it's pretty cool being on a team with them and being a part of it all, and knowing how important it is to Keith and Chantal, their parents, seeing their two sons out there competing with each other, representing their country. It's pretty special.
What was Keith like as a coach? Do you have any memories of? I can only imagine, but that must be.
I just remember it was when he was like at the end of his career and he had just lost all of his teeth, so he had a hard time talking and yelling at us because he had no teeth from his last year, but. He was awesome, and anytime you're a young kid, you have an NHL player like that coaching you. You're pretty excited to play for them, and I know for Matthew and Brady growing up, having him as not only their dad but their role model and kind of coach in a way. It's he helped develop so many players out of that St. Louis area. Clayton Keller, the Tkachuk brothers, a lot of guys. It turned St. Louis into a bit of a hockey powerhouse. So just a lot of fun memories with their family.
You guys were booed last night at playing Finland. I'm sure you expect what it's going to be like tomorrow night. A couple of guys I talked to said they really feed off that. Like, how do you guys feel sort of being the villain in all this drama?
I think it's exciting. I think it's we expected that being here in Montreal. It's an unbelievable place to play hockey, and anytime you're in the Bell Center, it's usually rocking, and that's a lot of fun. So I know, obviously, being in Canada's home country for this game, we're probably going to be booed pretty heavily, but that's part of the fun. That's what makes it entertaining, and we're kind of the bad guys, I guess. But it's a fun role to play, and I know the environment tomorrow is going to be probably the most intense I've ever been a part of. So it's these are the moments you dream about, and it's exciting just to be a part of it and playing these games, and it's stuff that you'll take with you the rest of your life.
What and also we talked, you talked about the intensity of the game, and there's been a lot of talk about teammates sort of putting friendships aside for this game.
Mm-hmm.
What's going to be like going against Mark, tomorrow night in like an atmosphere like this?
It's gonna be a lot of fun. I like you said, he's a great guy. He's my teammate in Vegas, my captain, and unbelievable player, unbelievable guy. But we're both competitive, and I know Mark's gonna be battling against us, and he's not gonna have any friends out there as well. It's one of those situations where it's just about honoring the game, and it's the competition. It's something special to be a part of. You're representing your country, and we want to come out on top. They want to come out on top, and may the best team win. So it should be a lot of fun playing against him tomorrow night, and I saw he had a good first game with them. So I know it'll be a challenge playing him for sure.
You've talked about the mass connection. Is there something like the Boston Brotherhood of players? Does it exist?
I'm sorry.
Like a brotherhood of Boston players.
Yeah.
Is this something like?
I think Boston's always been a hockey hotbed, like some of these other places, Minnesota, New York, Michigan, and I think anytime you're a part of that, there's a lot of players that can come out of one area. You have a history with them, you grew up with them, you're friends with them. So, I think anytime, for me playing with Jack, who's another Boston guy, we go back a long ways, and the Tkachuk roots, it's always fun for us and our families.
What was it like seeing those guys, the Tkachuk brothers, playing on the same line last night?
It was cool. It was fun, and I was just telling, Gary, I've known the Tkachuk brothers for so long, and to see them finally playing together on the same team, representing their country, it's cool to watch. And for as talented as they are, they both play the game so hard, and they have so much passion out there. And I know even seeing them before the tournament, how excited they were to get out and play with each other. So they definitely brought the energy for our team last night.
What makes this rivalry special, Canada-US?
Yeah, I think just the amount of good players that have come out of both countries, and the amount of talent. It's I think for so long Canada was always obviously the team, and they kind of are the the home of hockey, I guess you can say. But I think the U.S. has made a lot of strides and kind of pushed back, and we've developed a lot of players. So I think anytime you get a best on best situation with these two countries, the fans are in for a treat, and it's going to be a lot of skill, a lot of back and forth, and I think just the passion you go back and see all the games, the 96 World Cup, how physical and intense that was. It's been a long time since we've had this opportunity to play against Canada, and I know everybody's excited.
What sort of atmosphere are you expecting tomorrow night?
Probably one of the more intense atmospheres I've ever been a part of, and I think playing in Canada's home country in a great building like the Bell Centre in Montreal, it should be rocking in there tomorrow. And these are the moments you get excited for, and it should be something that we all remember for a long time.
Who's watching the two Bobs right now? Bob Eichel and Bobby Hanifin.
Probably my mom, honestly. I hope she's watching, that's for sure, because someone needs to keep an eye on both of them.
Is it fun having them here together?
Yeah, it's great. It's awesome. They made the drive up the other day, and my dad's known Bob for a long, probably for a couple of years, but I don't think they've been as close as they are now. Since I came to Vegas, they got to spend a lot more time together, and I think it's a cool situation for them being able to come up here and watch not only their sons play, but just the talent and the games. I mean, it's so cool to watch and to be a part of, and I'm just happy they're here.
They did an interview together a couple days ago. Have you and Jack been able to see it?
We did. Jack was the first one to witness it. I was a little nervous to watch it, but Jack had to watch it, and he pretty much forced me to watch it. He's like, "You have to see this interview. It's one of the craziest things you'll ever see in your life." And we were laughing pretty hard. So you did a good job interviewing them, asked some good questions, but Bob's my dad at least isn't too used to being in front of a camera.